What's going on, guys? This is Dumber Orange 927 here, back again for another video. And here today, guys, I'm gonna be talking about let's just say a very controversial topic right now within Halo, and that's the REQ system. Now, I've already had previous discussions about it, and in general, especially me ranting on it all the time at launch. But the key here is that, while to this day I despise the REQ system I despise that. I don't like the REQ system. I do believe there are ways that, I do believe there are certain things 343 actually do get right for the REQ system. I actually do believe that. I hate the REQ system. I really wish it wouldn't stay in the future of Halo, but I actually do think there are some benefits. The first benefit I would probably have to say with the REQ system in general is the variety of content that it can provide. Look, I don't like the way things are done, but I have to at least acknowledge that there is a lot in there. And, I actually do believe in certain ways of things between the debate of, I see both sides between the debate of Fabian and Luke the Notable. If you haven't watched those videos, I'll probably put the links in the description below. But my thoughts on the REQ system initially, I will get it out of the way. I don't like the REQ system. I believe there are so many better ways they could do it. Either the Halo 3 system, the Halo Reach system, maybe even the Halo 4 system. Because in general, I don't like that it's random. I don't like that in general, I don't like the way it designs the game to encourage so much buying of microtransactions. It's something I don't like, and I don't think I would really even buy any of these REQ packs. Like, I might later in time, maybe I might buy one or two just for the heck of it, but I'm probably never going to buy into them. So, but what does the REQ system do that actually helps the game? Because I could discuss all day how it hurts the game, but I don't want to do that today. I want to show the benefits of what the REQ system has. That way, one day in the future, these benefits could stay while the things that aren't that good can be fixed. Because I'll be honest, the REQ system is more than likely going to stay within the future of Halo. It's going to probably stay in Halo 6. It's probably going to stay in Halo 7 and whatever. Regardless of what shape or form, it's probably going to stay. So, what does the REQ system do well? Well, for one, it does help complete the game. Like, okay, now I know what you're thinking. Well, how is that like a benefit? That's just an expectation. We should have a complete game to begin with, blah, blah, blah. And yes, I do agree with that. But the key here is Halo 5 has went through a very, at least through the information provided by Late Night Gaming, since Halo 5 went through such a troubled development, that means it was kind of like lacking an ability to really get us actual new content. So I believe that's what makes this game a lot better, is the fact that with the REQ system, it allows us to get free content insanely quickly. Because I'll be honest, if it came down to it, when it came with an incomplete game, I'd rather have that than them charging us for content that should have been in the game at launch. Kind of like another game, cough cough, Destiny. Or even like Battlefront. Those games had DLCs that should have been in the game at launch. So, with that thought in mind, in general, it does help provide for the quote-unquote free DLC. I know it's content that should have been in the game at launch, but it at least helps create a budget for it. And at least now, with the last DLC in June being launched, it can actually get, with all the money we provided 343, it can actually allow them to create some content for Halo 5 that's actually a bit more meaningful, a bit more interesting. And I believe by having that into the game, it would allow more opportunity to make the game better. It would allow them to, in a nutshell, have an experience that will make us have a better experience in Halo 5 by having more fresh content. And would also allow 343 to have the time and money to create better content for the game. So that's the first benefit. The next benefit I believe the rec system does provide is providing us with, to an extent, a new set of content. The fact is as much as I hate the way I unlock things in Halo 5 with the rec system, I have to acknowledge at least there is a lot to unlock. At least, in general, it is going to keep me playing. And the one thing I do disagree with Fabian about is the fact that he says that the rec system isn't a good incentive to keep playing. It's not a real incentive to keep playing the game. And here's why I had to reply. That's not entirely true. As much as it's not a fun incentive to keep playing, it is in general an incentive to keep playing it. You still have the majority, at least. It may not apply for you in particular, but the rec system in general is, in a way, an incentive to keep playing. It does allow you at least to, have more things to unlock, and it allows you in a way just to have more to do in a way. Like, it gives you motivation behind it because you want to unlock everything. And if not everything, there's a very specific item you want unlocked. So in general, it is an incentive. Now, like I said earlier, it's not, and this is where I disagree with Luke. I'm kind of representing in a way a middle ground, is Luke claims that is a fun incentive to keep playing. That's where I disagree. I disagree with that mainly because of the fact that when he states that as a fun incentive, yes, it's great. Your adrenaline rushes. Your heartbeat gets faster and stuff once when you unlock something you actually really want. But the fact is that if you get something you don't want, all you feel is frustration. You don't feel like it's fun, and it only discourages you because you feel like, what's the point? I'm just gonna get more crap. And as much as your patience will eventually be rewarded with good stuff, the fact is it takes too long to actually get items you want, or at the very least, items that are of high value, And I understand he says it's a progression in the sense that, like, a low-level player isn't going to open something and get a gold pack. And as much as that is somewhat true, the sad nature is that, in general, there is still that chance, and that's the problem. It's that, and you even said this, like, it's not a progression if you just spend money on it, but the fact is you can spend this money and it somewhat downgrades your experience with the game, but at the same time you're so tempted to spend money because of the frustration you have when you don't get the items that you want. And that's something that really kind of feels underwhelming. Like, I'll just compare it to Halo Reach, because Halo Reach actually had my favorite system. I know I'm such a Halo traitor. It's not Halo 3's system. Yeah, Halo 3's system isn't my favorite. I still like it. It's just, I think Reach did it slightly better like, it felt more rewarding to me. Just in the fact that you would eventually get it. You know. But the point is that Reach worked by a credit system, and you could directly buy armors and visors and such by getting the credits and spending it on the item. Now, many said the problem with this is that you couldn't get everything in the game immediately, but that's where things got fun. It was like resource management. You had to pick and choose stuff, and it's what encouraged such individuality in Halo Reach. And it's like, compared to Halo 5, Reach made it where even if you're far away from unlocking a certain armor, you still feel encouraged because you're like, oh my gosh, only 2 more ranks and then I get this awesome helmet, only this, and it encouraged you to keep playing the game until you unlocked what you want. And after you unlocked what you want, it kind of showed another armor piece where you're like, holy crap, I want that armor. For example, my goal was the Mark 5 helmet. That was my main goal in Halo Reach to unlock. I made it, I unlocked it. Now I'm trying to go recently I went for the EVA Class C helmet, which is basically a meals helmet. After that, I'm now going for the security helmet and the shoulder plate with the knife. I'm going for that, the security armor. And with that, it caused incentive to keep playing the game. It allowed me to fully recognize the game as this full-fledged fun experience. And it's what gave me incentive, and fun incentive, not underwhelming incentive. Because yes, many would argue Halo 3 system did it better, and I can agree to an extent. What Halo 3 got so right is to make the armor value dependent on how difficult it was to get it. So what was nice about it is someone had the Recon helmet in Halo 3, the value was worth a lot because you knew you would have had to have done something to impress Bungie in order to get it. I have the Recon helmet now, but I think I only got it through actually don't remember. I think it was just something I did in Halo 3 one time in a big team battle match, which was really good. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was a long time ago. But yeah, I do have the Recon armor, but the point is that originally, nowadays it's a tad bit easier just because if you complete the certain challenges, in fact, that's how I think I got it. You just complete certain challenges, you unlock it. But originally, the only way you could get it is you had to impress a Bungie employee or play with them on a certain match. So what was cool about it is that basically it was so rare, so when people saw you wear it, it meant something a lot. It meant something big. It meant something that made you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so awesome. I had this cool darn armor that very few other people are gonna have, and it's really cool. So comparing that to the Halo 5, comparing both the 3, Reach, and 4 system was basically you just complete a certain combination or you reach the rank and you have the armor. Pretty simple. So comparing it to those other systems, Halo 5 is kind of flat because the problem is that Halo 5 brings nothing but frustration when you're not getting the armors and weapons that you want. And yes, it may feel really good, the 1 out of 10 rec pack openings, that you actually get something that you want, but the fact is it's too little. It's not like every few corners. It's literally once every blue moon, and until then you're just going to be getting stuff that at best is at best it's unsatisfying, and at worst it's outright underwhelming. So when you have something like that, I feel it damages the course of the game. It damages the progression. That's why I defied the Halo 5 rec system. But in general, the things I do like about it, which I do, is the fact that it is still an incentive. It's still an incentive and it still helps provide the game with content. Because I'll be honest, I rather would have had this than paid DLC for this game. Just because I know how troubled the development was. I would have rather had the rec system than quote unquote, you know, like paid DLCs. One, another would be like microtransactions of like where you would have had to buy certain items. Like the thing is that this could have been far worse than it actually was, you know. And I guess like the good news about it is the fact you can purchase it with rec points, and you wouldn't have to like you can still eventually unlock everything in the game and not have to pay a dime. That's kind of different to how some other games worked, like Destiny and Advanced Warfare were some of the perfect examples of that. Like if I'm not mistaken, Advanced Warfare had supply drops that were almost exclusive to buying, and you could only get them through buying them. And even Halo 5's like little like rec bundles, you know, like the mythic weapon bundle and such, as much as they're expensive, you can get them through rec points. So in general, the good news about the rec system is at least it does provide the freedom to where you don't have to spend it. You don't have to purchase them. You know, the benefit to it is, I would probably dare say, Halo 5 is probably the best microtransaction system I have seen in a game. Only if nothing else, because it provides you so much choice behind it. Because if you get a certain item you don't want and it's not permanent unlock, you can sell them. You can sell all your weapons and such if you just want to unlock all the armors as fast as possible. You know, if that's what you want to do, then yeah, you can just do that. But you know, I'm obviously not going to, but the options are there, and you could buy, or you could just, you know, get more rec points and continue as a progression. You know, not only that, but all the weapons it does give you, if you choose to keep the rec weapons, are individual experiences. You know, obviously your experience on a Scorpion is going to be much different from your experience in a Warthog or with a rocket launcher. So what it does do is, at least with Halo 5, even though you are somewhat gambling, at least you're always getting something that's different and something that can provide you with a different experience. Whether or not you like that experience or whether or not that experience is even useful, who knows? But at least what's good about the game is it provides you some choice with the microtransactions. Now, that doesn't mean that, you know, you're gonna have to, even if you sell everything and such, that doesn't mean it's not gonna take time. It's obviously gonna take a lot of time to complete. It's gonna take a lot of time to do the rec system and finish and complete the game with it. It's gonna take time, especially if you don't purchase anything. But you can still eventually get it done. Like, I'm already like 50% on my Warzone weapons and such. And I'm already pretty high on a lot of the stuff that I can earn in the game, and it hasn't even been a year old yet. You know, so it does show that eventually I'll unlock everything. It may take a few months, it might take a year, but we have the time, especially considering Halo 6 won't come out till probably 2018. I have the time. and obviously I won't have as much time in terms of my individual life, just because I'm going to high school soon, and I won't have as much time to do video games and YouTube and stuff in general. But that's something I'll have to discuss in another video. But the point is, to an individual gamer, it doesn't take as long as you may think. And I believe that's actually the benefit to the rec card system. So, whether or not you like the rec system, whether or not you believe it should be in the future of Halo, that's not the relevance of this topic. The relevance is that I tried to sum up here what the rec system does good and what it does bad. And now I believe it's up to us as a community, because we know, like, what you have to understand, guys, is saying just get rid of it, it's not the answer. Because as much as I want it gone, many other people want it gone, it's more than likely not going to happen. You know, like, Microsoft has sold more with the rec system than they did the actual game. So, with that in mind, the system isn't gonna go. I'm betting. I am dang darn betting it is not gonna go. So, whether or not you want it to stay or not, it's more than likely gonna stay. So at this point, the question is, how can the rec system improve? How can we make it better? I guess that's up to us to find out. Soon I'll be making a video topic, probably a discussion video with either Dusk and Under 9, or hopefully maybe I could get a discussion video with either Late Night Gaming, Luke the Notable, Fabian, Weapons Grade maybe, who knows, any of them. Even XGLL at this point, like, as much as me and XGLL have very different opinions, and as much as GLL probably could really kind of care less at this point, just because he hates Halo 5 in every portion of its existence, so I don't know. But I'll try to get in with one of them, do a discussion video about the rec system, and soon just the game in general, or the future of Halo, whatever, any of the above. And when I do that, then I'll be on the next video about that. Until then, thanks for watching the vid. I hope you enjoyed. Please like this video up, subscribe, stay tuned to more content, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace out.